Today is National Coming Out Day, a time to raise awareness and support those within the LGBTQ plus community. Coming out is not an easy thing to do, and everyone's story is different. But there are many resources out there looking to help people in their journey, no matter where they are in that journey. Joining me now is Juju Faragher, Youth Services Specialist with the Montrose Center. Good morning. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so talk to us. You know, the experience of coming out has changed across the generations. There are a lot of factors as to why that's changed. There are a lot of layers here. But talk to us about that journey and how it's evolved over the decades.
Well, you know, that journey is so different for everybody, and that's kind of the beauty of it. And I think for older generations, there was so much more shame involved. We were coming out of the AIDS crisis. It was something was more secretive. And so to come out was a great story of liberation and freeing yourself from, you know, society's views. Whereas now for newer generations, there's a much different beauty in it because there's so much more joy, because there's so many more stories to be told. There's so much more acceptance. And, you know, people are coming out younger because they see more of themselves out in the world, and it's magical.
And as you mentioned, Juju, a large part of this is because of that representation, right? Our world in a lot of ways has gotten a lot smaller than what it was. Those barriers, those restrictions that were in place are no longer there. And so that representation is more accessible in our everyday lives, whether that be in television, on social media, in our communities. Talk to us about the role, talk to us about how we've evolved, but the role that's played when it comes to technology, when it comes to our everyday lives, and seeing that representation and how it makes a difference in people's lives, hopefully a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's really the beauty of storytelling. I think in the past, so many stories surrounding the LGBTQ community have been caricatures or stereotypes of what these people's lives are like. You know, the reference that comes to mind for me is, you know, Ursula being inspired by the great, you know, drag queen Divine. And so queer people have seen themselves in media for a really long time. We've seen our culture. It hasn't been at the forefront. And now what has changed is a moving away from the caricatures, moving away from the stereotypes, and into really sharing authentic, genuine stories about, you know, coming out or love or connection. And people are really able to see themselves for the first time. And what that does is provide people with language, and new identities and things that they can try on and figure out if that's right for them. And, you know, being able to experiment and explore is so incredibly important. And, you know, it makes the coming out process so much easier.
You know, and I don't want to downplay this too. I see the rainbow behind you, and the hope is that everybody can experience that, right? But we know that's not always the case, and oftentimes too many people struggle with coming out. It's a difficult process for them. They're not comfortable to do so. Talk to us about those struggles, and if someone watching right now is struggling, the resources available here in our community, but I also want to elaborate on that in letting people know, regardless of where you are, there are resources somewhere near where you're located.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, coming out is so different for everybody. And the process of coming out, whether it's to friends or to family, you know, chosen family, loved ones, can be vastly different. And, you know, the idea of coming out is meant to be a celebration in a lot of ways, and sometimes that's not for folks. And so I always like to tell people, come out when you're ready. Come out when you feel as though that's something that you can do, that you've moved into a place of accepting of yourself and you're ready to choose visibility. You're ready to let other people into your world. And that's kind of the beauty of how I see it. Rather than coming out, you're bringing people into your experience and to what's going on in your head and your life. And that is, a really beautiful story to kind of be told. The number one tip that I offer folks is be patient, be kind to yourself, be patient with the other people around you, and know that no matter what, there's always going to be people that love you and support you. We here at the Montrose Center, we have a coming out support group that meets weekly. We have our Hatch youth groups for LGBTQ youth to kind of come to and connect and make friends and build community. And, across the United States, there's plenty of organizations like the Trevor Project where kids or youth can reach out to and find that community and find resources that support them.
Yeah, it's your story. You are the author. Juju Faragher, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We do appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.